Okay, so before I start this video, I just want to say, just like all of you, I am so hyped about this episode. Easily top 5 or even top 3 anime episodes of the year. I hope I'm uploading this in the year 2024 and not 2025. So, I'm here to talk about the Blue Lock Season 2 finale. What a crazy ending to the season. We got 2 episodes back to back, both airing on 28th December. Blue Lock Season 2 episodes 13 and episode 14. Season 2 just ended on a banger, giving us 2 episodes that can only be described by one word, that is cinema. As episode 13 and 14 broke everything about the show, from the amazing pacing, the insane animation and the overall amazing production, to being just one of the best adaptations to any sports animes. Seriously, these 2 episodes really hit me like a truck. They were so good and so worthy to be the finale of the best arc in Blue Lock, and they had me jumping with each passing second simply because, as I said, they were absolute cinema. They really managed to deliver one of the best productions. They felt so grand. They really felt worthy of being on the big screen. As we saw at the end of episode 14, it really felt like a movie. The animators really entered their flow with this one. So let's talk about episode 13 and 14. And as you will see, we will be exploring why episode 14 deserves to be probably the episode of the year. However, first we gotta talk about episode 13, and which I gotta say was explosive in its own right. From the beginning, it starts strong, and from the get-go, you can feel something is different. The production feels so ahead of previous episodes. It's not even funny. From the moment this episode began, I was already shocked at how much of an improvement these animators made in the animation. As long as the animation doesn't ruin the overall feel of the scenes, the animation is fine. But Blue Lock animation till now, it does ruin the feel of most of these scenes. The episode itself starts off right where we left off, where we're beginning to kick off again for the final goal of the game, and there's exactly 15 minutes left. And Rin is thinking to himself, Isagi is thinking to himself, and we finally get this iconic panel of them that they'll devour each other and become the leading actor. They look so good, especially with the more amazing aura, which by the way seems more fluid than before. And of course we can't forget the amazing voice acting by Rin's voice actor, who is Koki Uchiyama, who also plays Shigaraki from My Hero Academia. In any case, the game resumes and immediately Sai takes things to the next step. We finally get to see Sai trying to be a little serious, and I will say the panel adaptation is not right on point, but the animation, the way Itoshi Sai was dribbling in these clips is literally insane. Instead of building the attack as usual, being calm and everything, he immediately charges at Isagi, who was taken by surprise and really did not know what to do. Isagi is already weak one-on-one and is up facing the best player on the field, really took him by surprise. However, what took me by surprise is the level of animation. It's not just that Sai was moving or running, but his whole 360-degree shot they did with him really helps in selling how big of a deal this is. As we see Sai's aura for the first time, and he challenges everyone. The only ones who can keep up with him are the ones who get to witness the next level, and immediately he makes a quick work with Isagi, who is still shocked. By the way, this is the first time we see Sai dribble this good, as you remember before they completely ruined his dribbles. However, now they look so good, as immediately after taking Isagi on a ride, he took Karasu, as well as again the animation delivered beautifully, not just for these 2 moments but actually for the whole attack, for the whole sequence until Shido kicked Rin in the skull. And I got to say, this really showed me how much I was begging for good animation, as just seeing the move like this really made me happy and honestly sad at the same time. Why couldn't we get this level of animation before? It was beautiful, as we all know. Itoshi Sai making it past a lot of people, and the whole time he's doing that, Rin is thinking to himself on how he would stop him and ends up revealing his beautiful destruction. And so Rin knows exactly where Itoshi Sai is going to pass to finish off his goal. For now, let's talk about Rin, who is completely desperate in stopping Sai. In his mind, he thinks that he's the only one who can do it because he is his brother and he has the same blood that flows in him. And you can already tell that Rin is shouldering the whole team on his back, so it feels personal to him. Sai keeps destroying Blue Lock and it looked amazing as ever, and still is the best passer, as his pass was perfect for Shido. He's shouldering the whole team on his back, and also this is a testament to Shido's agility and his reflexes. He was able to react to Sai even though the latter was on a different level. And Rin gets a stop on this position by getting kicked in the face by Shido. This kick looked like it actually hurt a lot, and I don't know how Rin is still conscious after this. Also, Bachira at his current state and Yukimiya have an active dribbling ability where they utilize dribbling techniques to surpass their opponents. However, Sai is different. Sai's techniques are all reactive, which means he takes your best move and counters it, making it more of a formidable dribble than Yukimiya and Bachira, which is something that was explained here. Everyone was shocked by Isagi, and I must say there were two players who stayed vigilant in addition to, of course, Rin and Shido, and those are actually Ryo and Isagi. Firstly, Isagi, who is the most important one, he's actually adapting to both Rin and Sai, and as you all know, this is very important because this adaptability is what will allow him to score at the end. The second guy is Ryo, who is only fixated on Nagi. As soon as he got the ball, he forwarded it to Nagi, and this proved to be really deadly because the U20 team was taken by surprise, or I should say almost everyone was taken by surprise. And yeah, I must say Ryo has overall done a very good job at the defense for the Blue Lock 11. Either way, we go on to the attack, and the next thing we see is Bachira's monster dribble, where he just goes past all 4 of the U20 defenders, and I might have to say, I feel like these U20 defenders might have gotten nerfed towards the end of the game, but it's kind of really like, I guess it's like realistic. Most people, especially the defenders who are running up and down the field, are going to be tired, so that's the perfect chance for someone who has an attacker who hasn't really been doing much throughout the game, like Bachira. I like the music in this episode as well, which helped to add the feel of the scene right then and there. Though Bachira's monster shot ends up getting stopped by Sendo, who gets his moment where he develops a character and says, you know what, forget grab your idol type of life. He wanted to become the best in the world, and he gains his ambition, and so U20 goes back on the attack while Sai is just doing his own thing, dribbling past a whole bunch of people and eventually dishing it off to Aiku for his final shot to score the last goal. Unfortunately, that gets blocked by Rin as well, and so we're all wondering, it's a corner. Who the hell is Itoshi Sai going to pass? And the episode really puts you in Rin's head, and where he's like, he has to go to Aiko immediately. Aiko is literally in flow right now, and he's the perfect person to pass to. It's the beautiful destruction he was talking about before, and even Shido approaches there. And for the first time in the series, in the U20 match, Isagi ends up reading a play better than Rin, and so he actually stopped Shido from scoring. And in this moment, you get to see a glimpse into Rin's psyche, like, damn, I'm being surpassed for real. He's just standing there, he's like, Blue Lock has my back, and this was one of my favorite scenes in the entire manga. This is where Blue Lock proves why it is the best, because instead of feeling comfort, Rin is actually feeling as if he's getting devoured. He's reaching the point of irrelevancy, and he cannot have that. And so the Blue Lockers intervening with his matchup against Sai, this only made him feel awful and disgusting, and there he breaks. He enters the flow state and enters what we call the destroyer mode, and the episode ends on this scene of Rin being broken. Honestly, episode 13 did its job perfectly, preparing us for the grand finale. Honestly, I expected this scene of Rin to be different, however the studio really surprised me with this. It looked amazing, the OST was on fire, it's perfectly directed with the music, the sound effects, the graphics, just giving you like this horror film vibe when he actually activates the destroyer mode. That was absolutely perfect adaptation by 8-bit studio, I'm not going to lie. Seriously, this was so good, it was so amazing, and the spiral in his eyes looked amazing as well. Of course, hats off to the voice actor Koki Uchiyama once again for him to convey the anger to him, to convey frustration, but at the same time convey Rin's calm tone. Really shows that this voice actor is the real deal. I had always wondered how they would depict this scene in the anime. Like, I could just not imagine Shigaraki doing this. Well, that's all for episode 13. Let's jump straight into episode 14, which picks up from the same scene. And this episode is titled Last Attack, and we have Rin, who is completely unhinged as he goes on a rampage, stealing the ball from his teammates, targeting each defender from the U20 team one after another and destroying each one of them. Now they actually did these scenes very amazingly, of Rin targeting the defenders as if he is a zombie looking for some blood, and it was really amazing to see, especially with destruction effect that they added to the defenders, which was completely wrecked in total opposition of Rin. He completely destroys everyone, unlike Sai, who counters your plays. Finally, seeing Rin's destroy made animated feels kind of surreal, because all of these things I never thought will be animated. I read the manga last year and I didn't think it would be a long time since this scene gets adapted, and now I'm looking at it, it looks so unreal. And either way, that's off topic. So this hit the defenders really hard, and Neo, who used his physique against Rin, which was his biggest mistake, and there Aiko activates his amazing vision as he tries to stop Rin. It is flow state versus flow state, which is something very interesting to watch. Rin then goes on an absolute rampage, and then again you can see how the animation stepped up in these last 2 episodes, because I would usually say that the better half of the season would be like season 1 level episodes, but in this half I would say these are above and beyond season 1 episodes, maybe even better than episode 1 level or higher. Because this was absolutely insane. The sequence with him just dribbling past all these U20 defenders, directed perfectly of how every time he beats them that you show cracks in them, unlike Isagi where the puzzle pieces go on so he can build himself back together. I love this depiction. Rin absolutely destroys these people, puts cracks in them. I mean, that was an amazing sequence. And then to top it all off with the sequence with him, Aiko and Shido, it was perfect. Oh my gosh, he still shoots it and then he hits the bar, and that's not even the best part of the episode. Even though I've read the manga, I was jumping in my seat wanting to see how they would handle the 0% scene, and man, they delivered with saying that Rin is actually unpredictable and every option Aiko sees is at 0%, which means he has no chance of beating Rin and destruction is coming his way. As we see out of nowhere, Shido's hands grabs Rin and now it is 2-on-1. The giant wall Aiko and the demon Shido versus the destroyer Rin. However, Isagi is there too, but as Aiko knows that the blue lockers won't pass, and so he focuses on Rin and actually succeeds in stopping him. Of course, this was with the help of Shido, who completely blocked one way for Rin to go after. And wanna know one of the best parts of anime 2024 was, or I should say, the best part of fall anime 2024 was? Look no further than this final sequence. The ball bounces off the crossbar and Sai grabs it beautifully. Then the timer shows us that we have only 1 minute left, and so Itoshi Sai with the ball and 1 minute left is cruising up the field, taking it past Nagi and Baro, taking it past all of our best players and doing it just amazingly. We see and feel the pressure on everyone. Also, we see Otoya Eita first time so serious in the series, and Chigiri shouts as well. Sai looks so sick doing this move, but you know what made me really get in the mood? When the screen went from the full screen to the cinematic mode, like you know that this is going to get real serious, and that's exactly what happened. When that happened, I knew it was gonna be real good, and because the animation took a 10 times step up from what it was ever in Blue Lock, like better than episode 1 by 10 times, better than the entire series by 10 times, because this scene got the justice it deserved. Now, it is pretty obvious that the ball did not just miraculously fall into Sai's feet, but rather Sai with his perfect positioning was there to meet it, and as soon as he got the ball, we see the art style changes and we see Shido sprinting down the field. He's fending for the last goal, and I gotta say that this was so well animated. I started jumping in my seat like, come on. This is what sports anime should do. It should pump you up endlessly, and as I said before, this episode really excelled at that. Of course, because he was the only one who reacted to Rin. Isagi found himself the closest to Sai, so he tried to stop him, but he could not do anything at the moment, and so did Baro, and he tried to surprise him, but of course he failed. Even Nagi failed, and all of our players continuously failed one after another. Everyone is trying their best, and Karasu shouts at them that what they need to do is not to rush, because if they do, Sai will destroy them, and it is the end for our blue lock. Isagi senses the distortion between Sai and Rin, and then he places the wager. There he believes that Rin is actually going to be the one to stop Sai. As you will see, both Baro and Nagi went back to defense. However, Isagi was the only one who trusted that Rin will destroy Sai. Forget about Isagi for a moment. Forget everything. Sai versus Rin, oh man, where do I even begin? This moment was just incredible. The studio switched up the art style for this episode, and honestly it worked so well. It's more simplistic, but that simplicity made the animation smoother and more intense. This is the Kagenashi style and it worked very well with it. Reminded me of the style that Mappa used to do, just like having the raw energy, and it reminded me of Sukuna vs Mahoraga from last year's Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. The snow started falling, but metaphorical snow of course, which was Rin's introspection. Sai of course is throwing taunts at Rin, trying to shake him, but Rin's focus is unshakable. He's out to destroy everyone and realizes he needs to start with himself. This part hits so hard because it shows Rin's transformation. We see that Rin finally understood what Sai said to him, not using Sai as an excuse to play football, because that mentality is for the weak, and what Rin needs to do is trust in no one but himself. As we see, all of his demons, all of his thoughts that are connected to other players that try to stop him are gone. He destroys all of his inner demons as Rin screams, "I'm the egoist, Itoshi Rin." And there it was. I've literally no words to describe this. This was so good that I rewatched this more than 20 times by now. This was just so hyped, so great that I can't really do it justice no matter how I described it, how much I speak on it. And the cherry on the top was the change of atmosphere. What the studio did was so brilliant. The big clash. Rin and Sai face off. The atmosphere felt so stormy. The reduced aspect ratio was genius. It made everything feel bigger, more cinematic, like we were watching a movie. The animation was so fluid. It was easily one of the best animated moments this year, for me at least. The sequence was so beautiful that it actually made me forget about the whole season. I do not care about Blue Lock Season 2 if it was bad, because honestly, this finale is everything what I wanted. 8-bit did deliver the best moments well, and I'm happy about it, very happy about it, that they delivered all of the goals so well, and some of these episodes, the last 2-3 episodes, were just really good. It did not look like something that was made by 8-bit Studio. I did not think that they had this in their bag. The way Sai and Rin were moving over the field, everything about the sequence was perfect, and to top it all off, when the ball gets deflected, it happened exactly as I envisioned it. Rin and Sai keep running, trying to steal the ball, and at this instance, we see the ball flies towards the penalty box. There, Aiko tries to stop it and jumps, however it was barely beyond his reach, and as he was falling down, he hears footsteps, and man, those footsteps in the black and white, everyone sees number 11. The ball goes over Aiku, he could not reach it, and we see Isagi appear behind him and shoot the ball and score the final winning goal. Isagi does the pose, and the next thing we hear is score. This was absolute cinema. The way they replayed Isagi's kick 5 times could have felt overdone, but it did not. It just made it hit harder every single time. I never thought 8-bit Studio could pull off animation like this. They absolutely outdid themselves. I liked everything about how they ended the season, like the silence, the eerie atmosphere, the war raging between Rin and Sai, and then for only Isagi to meet them for the final goal. It also comes full circle because Rin defeated Isagi through luck in season 1, and now the same happened in season 2's finale. Damn, I love this moment so much I can't express it in words. Now I want to talk about 2 things actually. First is Henri here crying. As you all know, even Ego celebrated with his fist, and yeah, I felt that. That was so impactful. It was the victory and dominance of Blue Lock in Japanese football. Henri was crying, and they're not just tears of joy but achievement, that she fought so hard for Blue Lock project to exist in the first place. The second thing is actually what Sai said to Rin. You see, at that moment we felt as if Sai was needlessly cruel to his brother by praising Isagi when he was the one who kind of stole Rin's goal, and that was just a disaster for Rin. But yeah, even so, all of this was crazy and I was smiling. Who would have thought that they had it in them to make something this good? And I'm not even kidding, I never thought in a million years 8-bit Studio would be pulling out this animation at the end. Like this on a completely different level, I'm not even joking. But yeah, aside from that, the episode basically ends off with Isagi getting his very touching and heartful moment, his moments with his team and Aiko, and finally getting interviewed. It was so emotional just seeing how far Isagi has come all this way from the start, and he announces to all of Japan that he's going to win them the U20 World Cup. Oh my goodness, guys, like I was so happy and hyped at the same time, and I was like, let's go Isagi. And after that we get to the locker room. Ego reminds everyone that this isn't their peak yet and they have so much more to accomplish. A lot of Ego's dialogues were deleted from the manga, by the way. Nevertheless, this part was very well done. Everyone leaves the locker room and Isagi talks to Rin about the last goal, that he taught him luck in the very end of season 1, and now that he was able to use that luck in this game in order to get the final goal. But then Rin has also developed something in return. He finally accepts Isagi as a rival, whereas he never did this before. And that's not it for this episode, because there's one final cliffhanger at the end, or I should say a couple of cliffhangers at the end, which is the reveal of Blue Lock's wild card and Kunigami coming back. Rensuke Kunigami is finally back in Blue Lock, and for those who don't know, Kunigami actually went through a secret training called the wild card, which is dedicated for those who lost before. However, only one player can succeed, and as you saw, it was Kunigami. And man, if I did not read the manga, this would have been the most shocking thing ever. And the second one is Michael Kaiser. Guys, Michael Kaiser got revealed at the end of this episode, and his voice sounds perfect. Like, I had been expecting this for a long time. He is actually voiced by Mamoru Miyano, the voice actor of Light Yagami, Doma, Chrollo, and so many more famous villains. And this is how the season 2 of Blue Locks comes to its conclusion. But as you all know, the Neo Egoist League is coming up, which is actually a league between the best clubs in the world, including Blue Lock, and obviously Michael Kaiser is the star of one of those teams. However, that's all I could really tell you guys about him, because anything else would be very spoilery. I think that these 2 episodes were both very good, and episode 13 I will give 8.5 to 9 out of 10, and episode 14 is in solid 11 out of 10. Just kidding guys, like easily a 10 out of 10 and one of the best episodes of this year, for real. I was absolutely blown away by the animation, direction, music in these episodes, and I think the writing obviously for this U20 arc was crazy good. This episode was everything I wanted. It wasn't just about the match or the goals, it was about the journeys of these characters and the emotions behind their actions. The atmosphere and the storytelling, it all came together so perfectly. This wasn't just an anime episode, but an experience. I really hope you guys enjoyed the finale, and let me know if you want the season 3 to happen, because looking at how the season was butchered, though I know for sure it's gonna happen. Anyways, that is it for this video. I managed to upload one final video this year, so yeah. Thank you so much for watching till the end. So happy new year, see you next year, and goodbye.